over the last 90 days, my brand's done over $2.9 million in sales. And I was able to get to this point because I didn't do what everybody else was doing. You see, there's a few things that when people launch their dropshipping store or e-com brand, continuously do over and over again that doesn't allow them to get to the scale like this. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through what I did differently. Hopefully you could take and implement it to be able to get to a scale like this yourself. So when people are launching their brand or dropshipping store, everybody does the same thing, right? They find a product using some spy tool or on the Facebook ad library, which is completely fine, but they just find a random product that's selling for somebody else. Now the issue is what they do is they take this, right? They take the same product, then they find the ads that are working for the competitor, and they take the same ads and they copy their product page, right? And then they copy the offer, or maybe they just, change the price a little bit lower, they slightly lower, or they slightly increase it and charge shipping or something like that. But they pretty much take the exact same offer, right? They put all these together, right? And they launch ads, they run it, and then they get 0 sales, or they get a couple sales, and they're able to scale to maybe, 1K per day, something along those lines. And then they're stuck. And then they just simply cannot scale to 6-figure months and beyond. And the issue is, it's because they're all doing the same thing. And so what you need to do differently is you need to put a little bit of effort into figuring out how you can beat them. Now you can beat them on the product, on the ads, the offer, their product page, on all of those different aspects. But you need to be looking for opportunities to be able to beat them. And the good news is nobody's doing this. It takes literally just slightly more effort. Nobody puts in more effort. They're lazy. If everybody could just copy paste a product, offer, product page, etc., everybody would be filthy rich right now doing 7-figure months consistently. It doesn't work like that. So I'm going to walk you through them each one by one. Products, if you can beat them on the product and differentiate your product, this is by far the easiest way to beat your competitors and break into selling a specific product. Reason being, the better your product, right? The better your product equals a lower CPA. If you can take the product that's currently working for somebody else and improve it by listening to customer feedback in their reviews on Amazon, finding new variations of it, making it look better, whatever, well, it's going to drive your CPA down because people are always looking for the next best product. For example, if you're selling a dog bed and there's an indestructible dog bed that you're trying to sell and you find an even better version that's even more indestructible with a crazy guarantee and it lasts longer than the current one, well, people are going to want that one, right? All the people who are into dog beds are wanting to buy a dog bed. They're looking for the next best option. This is why innovation in business is important. It's the same reason why BlackBerry couldn't keep up with Apple. Apple kept innovating on their product, improving the product, and if you don't innovate and stay up to the mark and be at the top of that, you're going to fall behind. It's the same thing when trying to break into a new product, trying to launch a new dropshipping store or brand, and you're trying to sell some product, but then you just take the same exact product as everybody else and try selling it. Well, an easy way to beat that is, well, can you find a new variation of the product? Can you improve the product to make it even better? If you can, you're going to be leading the market with a new variation of the product. It'd be way easier to get a lower CPA and scale your business, right? So once again, under product, you can make it look better. You can increase quality. You can just improve the features, right? There's so many different things you could do to improve the product, and the easiest way to do it is to look at negative reviews. If you go through your competitors and other people who are selling this product and you go through their negative reviews, you will easily find common trends between them that say, hey, this dog bed looked too ugly, or this dog bed said it lasted a year but actually only lasted 6 months, or it wasn't machine washable, or whatever the common issue was with the product. You take that, you improve it. Well, now you have a better product than your competitors, and you have a much easier time selling that product. Now you're probably saying, well, Dante, doesn't that cost time and money and take effort? And yes, well, welcome to business. If you want to build a big business, you're not going to do it by copying and pasting everybody else, right? You have to improve on different aspects of that to be able to, one, build a moat, which makes it easier for you to scale and get to big numbers, and two, you don't want to be selling anything bad anyways. Like you can try force feeding ads down people's throats, but the better your product, the easier time you'll have anyways. So if you can improve the product, that's the first place I would start. It's the easiest way to do it. If you have a better product than your competitors that you can visually show in your ads, you'll have a way easier time scaling your business. That's exactly what I did when I launched my brand and my product. I saw the product existed. I found a different variation of it that looks better, that improved the quality, and it took off right away. Because people were buying that product, the competitor's product, like crazy. I knew it was selling, and then I improved it, and it obviously sold very well. It was selling for them. I have a better version. Why wouldn't it sell? It did. So that's the first thing. The next easiest place to look to beat your competitors and actually break into that market to build a big brand is going to be the ads. Now, when it comes to the ads, what most people do is they rip them, right? They go to their ad library or their TikTok or whatever, they download the app and they launch them for themselves. The issue with this is the algorithms, right? Facebook doesn't like it. It's already seen that content. People have already seen that ad. And maybe it's a new ad, maybe it works for a little bit. The issue is you're not going to get consistent results and you're not going to scale by copy and pasting. And the issue people do with the ads is they get in the loop of they're able to launch a new product, they get very good at getting it to 1K per day, maybe even 10K per day, right? But then they can't sustain and scale past that. And it's because they keep ripping the same ads over and over again, right? Big red here. This does not work at scale. You will not get to scale by this. You can do this initially to get off the ground and test proof of concept, but if you want an easier time, my recommendation would be not to rip ads, and instead, right, you want to focus on taking winning desires and formats. This is what you want to focus on. You want to go through and reverse engineer their ads. What are you want to go through and reverse engineer the ads and figure out what are the desires and the angles that are really working for them at scale. You can look at the ads that have been running the longest, right? And what are the formats are they using? Is it a long form VSL? Is it a short form UGC? Is it studio content? And you go break that down. And after you find this, here's the kicker. You invest time and you put more effort into it and you write your own scripts and you invest into your own content that's better than theirs. Now, it's really not that difficult. It just requires some effort. And once again, just like as we went over the product, you'll have a way, way easier time selling this product and getting to scale if you have better ads than them, right? If everything stays the same, you have the same product, same offer, and you beat them on the ads, well, you're also going to win. Now, ideally, I'm giving you different ways that you could break in for each of these different categories or different opportunities you can find to beat them, right? To start scaling your brand and actually take it off the ground. But I recommend you do it on all fronts, right? You should improve the product, you should beat them at the product, you should beat them with their ads, and you should beat them on the offer, which we'll get into. If you can do all three, you have a way, way higher chance of actually breaking into that, hitting scale quickly, and then being able to actually consistently grow it versus being stuck in this loop of, right, going from 1K to 10K per day, and then that just dropping straight down again because you don't know how to do this anyways. So when launching a product, you may as well get good at this now. And so some other things you want to look at when it comes to how can you beat them on their ads. First could be better content. Second could be hooks. Third would be the script. Fourth would be the creators in general. Like maybe they're not using great creators, the voiceovers or the acting in it isn't very great. Can you invest and find better creators who could do that better? And doing each of these better comes down to the research you do beforehand on making these ads, which is once again what most people don't do, and there's zero effort, and which is why they can't scale, is they just rip the ads, launch it, and if it doesn't work, they say, oh my God, this product's dead or it doesn't work or whatever. But what you have to do is actually research the market, figure out their pain points, the desires, go through the reviews, and really know that market clearly for that product. Because then what you can do is find opportunities when looking at the ads. For example, if we go back to that dog bed example, let's say you're watching their ad and they clearly miss a couple key benefits or features that you saw through your research that people are really, really wanting for, and they don't mention it in their ad. Well, that's an opportunity for you to come in, take the same ad format, the same angle in the ad, rewrite the ad, but improve it with the benefits and features that the customers are talking about, that they're missing, right? This is how you actually spot the opportunities, but you won't be able to do that unless, once again, you do your research on making your ads. So you want to focus on the research, then go through their ads and look at how you can maybe improve each of these aspects of their ads based off of the research. If you put that all together, you should end up with better ads than they do, with fresh content, with fresh messaging that the algorithm hasn't seen before, ideally paired with a better product and a better offer. And then once again, you significantly increase your chances of actually succeeding with that product and scaling your brand. It requires effort, but it works. And I welcome to business. Once again, if you want to beat people, it requires some effort to actually get to scale. And so next is the offer. Well, how can you beat them on the offer? Now, this one's pretty simple. The easiest thing you can do is offer free gifts, some sort of free gift. Now, it really depends on the product and offer, if it makes sense with it, of course. But the easiest thing you could do, let's say they're running a 40% off, or a buy two, get one free, or a buy one, get two free, or buy two, get one, whatever their offer is, right? If you take that and add a free gift to it, almost always you have a better offer. People like the free gifts. That's the simplest thing you could do to beat somebody on their offer. So if they sell 40% off, you sell 40% off plus free gift. Any way you can make the offer better gives you a better chance of people wanting to buy from you instead of them. It's pretty self-explanatory. So don't just copy them, copy their pricing. How can you improve the offer? Can you sell it for less? Can you find the product for cheaper? You'd have a competitive advantage there. Can you find a low cost, high margin gift that really increases the perceived value? It may lower your margin slightly, but because of the better offer, you have a much better CPA, much better conversion rate. That's probably one of the easiest things you can do to actually beat them on their offer. The next thing you can do, which I slightly touched on, is the pricing. Can you sell it for cheaper, or can you actually position it for a higher price and actually have a higher AOV and better margin than them, which will let you spend more on ads? That's a very valuable option as well. And so the third one is bundling. Now this one works very, very well because if you do it right, you can have a higher conversion rate than them and have a higher AOV, and you beat them on both fronts, which really, really gives you competitive advantage. In this scenario, we want to use some of the products like the free gifts here, which are ideally low cost to you and high margin with high perceived value. That really makes this bundle offer kind of unique in its own. That's why you're not competing with a competitor. You're moving yourself into your own category. When I launched my brand, this is exactly what we did. We pretty much combined all three of these. So what we did is, once again, the competitor was selling the products. I offered free gifts onto it, and I realized that they had upsells that sold very well. So I created a bundle out of all of those and increased the price. So instead of just selling, once again, this one hero product, I had this bundle. Let's pretend it's the square with the hero products. I had a free gift. I also had a higher price point. And what this allowed me to do was I had a great conversion rate, and I knew people liked this bundle and this offering because for them, those kind of consumable products that went with the hero product sold well. So I knew that would go well in a bundle. So I put it all together. We had a higher perceived value offer, which let us charge higher prices. So we had a higher price point, the same or better conversion rate, and now we're in our own category, not competing with them. Because why would people want to go spend money with them if they could spend a little bit more but get way, way more value out of it? So this is a great way you could also beat them on the offer. So to summarize that once again, because I know I went over a lot there. The first way you can look for opportunity to beat your competitors and make it a lot easier for you to actually sell that product and get it to massive numbers is the product. Can you make a product that's better, that fixes all the issues people have with the current product, that visually looks better, that you can show in your ads easier? If you can beat them on the product, it makes your ads and your offer way, way easier. So if you could beat them on the product, even though it may take some time and money and effort, you should. Second is the ads. Can you look through their ads, the main angles that are working for them? Can you improve the content? Can you make better scripts? Do you see opportunity in the ads based off the research you did beforehand to beat them on things that they may be missing out on? If you can do that, you'll have a much easier time. And third, can you create a bundle? Can you increase the price or lower the price? Can you offer free gifts? Can you take the offer that's currently working for them and improve it? If you can put all three of these things together when it comes to launching your brand, well, you have a lot easier time scaling. Now, this is supposed to be a chart of sales going up, but you get the picture. You can't just copy and paste everybody, launch the ad, and expect to scale. That used to work when dropshipping and e-com brands and etc. first started. It's difficult now, right? The skills of people and the quality of the ads and everything are increasing. You can't copy and paste and expect to get to sales. Once again, you may do that and get to 1K a day or 10K a day, which is great. It's not going to last. You need to improve these things to even build a sustainable brand in the future. So get good at them when launching the product, because you're going to have a way easier time actually selling the product and increasing your chances of success. And then you have to get good at those three things anyways and continuously improve them to get to scale. So you may as well do it when you initially launch. Now the next thing people do that keeps them in the loop of not being able to scale a brand to big numbers is they simply don't test enough. Now, let's say you took my advice and you actually improved the product, improved the ads, improved the offer, and you launched 3-4 ads that way and it's not working. Don't stop there, right? You simply don't test enough. Every massive dropshipper or e-com brand that I know when they initially launched their product went through hundreds of different ads that they tested in their ad account. Hundreds. You are not going to go launch 3 to 5 ads and get to scale. Because think about it, you have no clue what ads work yet, what content, etc. You're giving yourself the best chance you can by basing it off of the competitors, but you just started, right? You just started. 3-4 ads is not going to get you to scale. So if you don't do that, you're not going to beat them. If you do what everybody else is doing, you're simply not going to make it. That's just how it is. So what you need to do is simply test more. Full stop. You just test more. Everybody else who sees that product selling, who's also trying to test and make it work for them, is also just copying and pasting 3 to 5 ads. Now, if you do what I said previously and improve all those things, you already increase your chance, but it's just simply not enough. That will increase your chances, right? But then what you have to do with that is simply test more. So when you improve the product, and you improve the ads and you improve their offer, great. Do that. Then when you launch, test a shit ton. Launching your ads at $50 a day with 3 ripped ads for 3 days and then not getting sales or not scaling and thinking, okay, the product just doesn't work. No. Somebody else is selling it successfully. It's going to work. It can work if you test more and beat them to figure out what's working and then optimize. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. You don't just launch and scale to the moon. Some people do and they get lucky, which is great, but it just doesn't last. Once again, it's a process. It takes time and it's a process. You launch, you see what works, you see what don't. You optimize it, you refine it, you launch more, you see what works best out of that, see what doesn't, you optimize it and revise it some more, launch more ads, and then eventually you get to a point where you find a big winner and it takes off because of the iterations you worked on previously. And the second thing that people do that keeps them in the loop of not being able to scale is they simply don't treat it like a brand. This one's difficult because on YouTube, there's most people teaching it just simply haven't gone and actually build a massive brand. They're just dropshippers at the end of the day, which is fine. It's not to put hate on them, but when I first got into ecom and I learned from all the dropshipping gurus online on YouTube, it took me a long time and I'm still battling with it, which is getting out of this dropshipping mindset, right? You need to step out of that and a lot of the information you hear online and think broader and think like an actual business brand owner. Because to succeed at dropshipping or ecom, you need to just learn how to build a business. You're building a real business here. You're not building a dropshipping store. You're not just dropshipping. You're building a real brand, a real business. And if you're stuck in the dropshipping mindset, it really, really limits you. So what I want you to do when problems don't work, your ads don't work, or your product doesn't work, is take a step back and think big picture. For example, when I first launched my brand, after 3 months into the brand, our sales dropped 80%, and we went from like 200 or 150K a month down to like 20 grand a month for like 3 months straight. And most people, which I was thinking at the time too, was, okay, well, the product's dead. The product's dead and dying, right? But to me, logically, it didn't make sense. Logically, there were other people selling this product successfully. My sales are down. And can a product really just die? Like, does a product just die? No, not really. No, it didn't make sense to me logically. And so I decided to persevere, learn how to market, improve the offer, improve the product. I did those 3 things, and then we scaled massively. But if I was stuck in this dropshipping mindset, not treating this like a real business, I would have never persevered till that point and gone to where I am today with this brand. So when you're going through this process of launching products and starting your brand, creating ads, etc., and you face problems, take a step back and really try to think of it big picture, like you're building a real business. Once again, this whole dropshipping thing of finding a viral product, downloading 3 ads that have already existed, launching it, waiting 7 days, and then being at $1 million a month, it's not how it works. Everyone you see who's doing $1 million a month, 6 figures a month, to some degree and some level, know how to build a real business, right? If they've done it consistently. If it's a one-off, they scale for a month, 3 months, and it goes back to zero, they don't know, they haven't learned, they're still stuck in this dropshipping mindset. When you face the problems in dropshipping or e-commerce and you go through those problems, take a step back, think like an actual brand or business owner. It's hard because in your head, people will be telling you, no, the product's dead, move on, or just your ads aren't good enough, or whatever. But take a step back, look at your market, look at the product, look at the competitors. Once again, maybe you just haven't innovated on your product and your product needs to improve. Maybe you've been running the same offer for years now and it's just not working anymore. It's an offer issue. Maybe your ads are just bad. Maybe the product actually just, once again, it didn't die, but there's better versions that you need to make as well to keep up with the competition. All these different things play a factor. Maybe your total addressable market isn't big enough. Maybe the desire you're targeting isn't big enough. Now, you never really know what the true problem is because there's a million different things that could be happening right, could be happening wrong, etc. But you take a step back, you think logically, you look at your business, you look at the market, you look at the competitors, and you try to pinpoint what your issue is and solve it. You don't just sit there and conclude, okay, my product's dead, or competitors are coming in, they're ripping my ads, and that's it just doesn't work. Take a step back, think like a business owner. I really urge you to take the opportunity to build your critical thinking skills around that, because if you're stuck in the whole dropshipping mindset, you simply will be in the same loop forever. You'll get really, really good at launching a product, getting to 100,000 a month, 30,000 a month, 50,000 a month, and then going back down to zero. And launching another store and doing that again and going back down to zero. And launching another store and going back down to zero. You will not build a big 8-figure brand that brings you consistent profits month over month, growing year over year, if you think like a dropshipper. And once again, to succeed in dropshipping or a brand, they're both the same thing. It's just how you fulfill your products. You need to think like an actual business owner. So learn how to build an actual business, learn how to market, learn how to do product development, and you will see success. So with that being said, after watching this, I hope you really understand this and actually take it and implement it, because once again, my sales had to drop down to basically zero, like 3-4 times in the process of this brand. And when I started dropshipping like 5 years ago or 6 years ago at this point, the first 3 years, I just lost all my money over and over and over again trying to figure this out because I was listening to the dropshipping gurus online instead of actual brand owners and learning how to build a business. Instead, I was learning how to build a dropshipping store, rip ads, launch it, didn't work, build a store, rip ads, and launch it until something just took off and I found a magic winner. That's just not the reality. You need to learn how to build a real business, and you're going to thank yourself you do that now, because you may find the short-term wins with the dropshippers. You may see a bunch of other people getting short-term wins with this, but I promise you, if you actually learn how to build a real business, go through the pain of learning that now, you'll have much, much more success in the future. So with that being said, if you want my help personally to work with you one-on-one to help scale your brand, there's a link in the description of this video that walks you through how it works. We really only take a couple people, and you have to be doing over 30,000 a month to even qualify. That's the people who I can help the most. So if that's you, check the video out. I hope we can help you. If not, either way, please take this information I went over in this video and use it, because it will help you scale, I promise. And I wish I knew this years earlier. So with that being said, I'll see you in the next one.